calls this the cinematic option on my iPhone. This is cinematic, you know why? Because it blurs the background. Check it out. It's something that I've been trying to achieve for years when I was like, I need to get myself a camera that has a blurry background. And I don't know why it was so hard, but eventually they just installed it on the iPhone. So now I have this available to me as well. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, day, night, wherever you are. Good morning as well. That's another option. I am just quickly doing a little face-to-face hello here to let you know about the fantastic video that I'm sharing with you today. Where am I? I am, I'm a little tired. I'm looking at myself, and not in the mirror, but in this camera, and I'm like, look, fuck, excuse me. I'm tired. It's been a tiring time. I'm dealing with a bit of a rheumatism problem at the moment, and I need to sneeze now. Hold on. No, didn't happen. I'm in between medication. Oh no. Oh shoot. Sorry. I just noticed the bottle that doesn't have its lid put on properly. Check that out. Back on. Oh, sorry. I am currently, I had to stop a medication for my rheumatoid arthritis because I had built up antibodies against it. And in between, I'm meant to move to another medication, but that's taking longer than expected. And there was a whole big drama with it as well. If you're interested, read my Facebook post. But it means that I've been without that very good medication for about 2 months maybe, and it causes lots and lots of flare-ups, much more flare-upping, and that makes me very tired. So when you get pain, it's very hard. Those of you who have chronic pain will know that managing chronic pain or just chronic inflammation and more flare-ups and more issues, it's like having an extra job to just manage. So anyway, I'm a little tired, but I wanted to show my face for a moment here and introduce this new series to you. So I have been close friends with Effy Wild for many, many years, since the very early days of online art teaching, 2009, 2010. And I've been for a while now thinking I would like to do something with Effy, because Effy is, I would say, a master. She'd say a witch in the art of using art for healing or personal development. I think she has really great ideas and methods and techniques and exercises that can really help you utilize your art process for greater things. And so we decided to do a little series. We're going to call it the Fairy and the Witch, but really the Art Fairy and the Witch. And this was her idea, and she said her thinking is that she thinks that I am the one that paints the world how I want it to be, which is mostly true. I don't tend to paint my darkness. I tend to process my darkness in the paintings, and then I tend to paint the thing that I want on the other end of the darkness, if you will. While Effie says, she describes herself this way, that she's more working with the shadow side of things and might paint, not necessarily, because I haven't actually seen her paint like skulls or something, but she would identify more with being an artist that paints the shadow side of things. So it was really fitting for her, from her perspective, to call me the Art Fairy and her the Art Witch. Oh, my shoulder is hurting. See, right now I have rheumatism pain. I'm like, oh. Anyway, so, ta-da! Introducing to you the Art Fairy, me, the tired Art Fairy with a rheumatism flare-up, and the Art Witch, which is Effy the Amazing Wild. And basically we're doing the format is us chatting, we setting each other maybe a challenge, or we're doing an exercise together. Look at my twinkly lights. And then we're painting something, and then I finish it off at the end. So I hope you enjoy this session, and this is hopefully also going to be a series. I start mini series, and some of them last longer than others. Not for lack of want or anything. I'm just a little bit chaotic and somewhat ADHD. However, we've done one. We are proud because we've done one and it was fun and it was exciting and hopefully it's helpful. So if you find this helpful, so today's topic is for those of you who struggle with change like me. And if you struggle with change, this is an exercise that Effy suggested whereby you do something that in your art practice that is a change from your usual thing. So if you usually use a certain color palette or a certain material or a certain substrate or anything, you can challenge yourself to make a change. So this may be a challenging change, such as a different color palette or a different substrate or a different subject. And then what you do is you expose your nervous system to safe and manageable experiences of change that might be somewhat uncomfortable, but not deeply uncomfortable. And so I talk in the rest of the video about how this feels like microdosing change so that your nervous system can calmly become more used to it, and then you train it and teach it not to feel scared of change. That's sort of that's sort of it in a nutshell. Anyway, so I'll let you actually watch the video instead of me now telling you what the video is about. And then I hope you enjoy it. Yes. So anything else? I don't think so. I hope you're okay. I send you much love and have a good time. And oh yes, I do want to say that if you enjoy this video, I would absolutely appreciate you liking, subscribing and commenting. Please subscribe to my channel. Please leave a like and a comment. It is so appreciated. It helps the algorithm. And do go and check out Effy's website and stuff. And please subscribe to her if you enjoy that, of course. And I want to thank you so much for being here and watching and engaging. And it means so much. And I send you all my love and goodness and positivity for you in your life. Big hugs. Enjoy and see you again soon. All right, I'll start. All right.
Right.
Hello, everyone. I'm here today with the amazing Effy Wild. Woo! We have decided, I asked Effy to start something with me. I have always, me and Effy go back way, way, way back to the very early days of online art teaching, and we are very good friends and we have worked together forever. And I was like, you know what, me and Effy need to start something together on YouTube. And so we have been brainstorming a bit because I really love Effy's art but also her her ability to, as this is literally a quote, I'm quoting you, Effy, is to meet herself on the page. So Effy always meets herself on the page, uses art as a catalyst for healing, like I like to do. And I'm not doing life work anymore now, and so I missed a little bit of that as well. And I thought, you know what, I think it would be really valuable if me and Effy did something on YouTube. It'd be fun, because I love hanging out, and also be valuable. And so we brainstormed, and we are calling ourselves the Fairy and the Witch, which we thought was really kind of funny. There you go. The witch is in. And the idea for it is really that we're just gonna, maybe for an hour and a half or so, maybe once a month, we're not sure yet, gonna hang out and take maybe a topic that is something that we could heal around or just talk about. And utilize our artworks to look at. It doesn't have to go very deep. It can go very deep. And because we're both experienced that way as well, I thought it'd be really fun and wonderful to try out and see how it goes. And it's meant to be relaxed, not overly rigid or anything. We're just going to be chatting and making art and talking maybe a little bit about our own struggles in life and how we maybe work through those with art. That's kind of it in a nutshell. And so I'm very excited to do this with Effy. Welcome, Effy. And
thank you so much for welcoming me and for asking me. I'm so excited to do this. For those of you who don't know, Tam got me started in this realm. Her invitation to me to teach on Lifebook came completely unexpectedly to me. And I was very new as a teacher at the time. And so most of my audience actually came directly from Tam's audience. So chances are, if you know me, you know Tam. And I'm very excited to do this because each of us, Tam and I, have a different ethos, but the same at the same time. So like, I'm the art witch. I like to dance on the shadow side of things. And Tam is the art fairy, and she likes to dance on the create the world you wish to see. kind of place. So together, I think we make quite a pair. I often think of us as two sides of the same coin. And so this is going to be really exciting for me because I get to hang out with my Tam. And I hope it's going to be exciting for you guys because you get to see two artists that work in completely different ways, approach healing modalities. And we promise we're not going to scandalize or traumatize you, but we are going to offer you gentle practices that you can partake of that you may find helpful, or you'll just get to watch us make some really cool art and talk like friends do.
Yeah, so today, Effie, we thought we each time one of us might lead a sort of an activity, and today we thought Effie had an idea, a really nice idea I really like. So, do you want to explain it to the audience for me?
Sure. So change is hard for some of us. Harder for some of us than others. Many of us will get stuck in a rut as a result of that sort of discomfort with change. And so I like to use my creative practice as a way to build resilience about things that I might be struggling with. So change, when I think about change, I almost immediately go into a freeze trauma response. It's like, oh, I really want to move, but no, we're not doing that because no, that's too much change. Or the program that I've been teaching for 10 years, I'm so tired of teaching it. I need to teach something different or I will die of boredom. But the fear of the consequences of change can be really paralytic. So I like to practice my life in my art journal through intentional making. So what I'll do is if I'm whatever it is that I'm dealing with, for example, in this case, change, really afraid of change, do not like change, change triggers me. So I will try change in a safe place. And it's a low impact change because there is no real consequence except what my own brain will do with regards to this kind of change. So I thought it would be really fun if we each looked at what our comfort zones are with regards to our creative practice, our art practice, and then try something completely different from what we usually do to kind of build resilience about change. Now, I am not asking anybody here, least of all me, to do 15 different things than what I would normally do, because that is not the way that you build resilience. That's the way that you re-traumatize yourself. That's the way you put yourself in the position where you're looking at something that you made and you're going, well, that sucked and I hated it. What I want you to do instead is look at one thing, just a color you never use, a medium you don't generally work with, a different way of doing things. For example, my process is always layer, 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 focal image. Tam's process is
Focal image first and then layer around it.
right. Mine is always do the shadow work, throughout, and Tam's is okay, we already know about that. Now we're making the world that we wish to live in. So what if we were, did a different process and just practiced doing things differently? So how do you work that is, or how do you never work, or what do you never work with that would feel uncomfortable, but not so uncomfortable that you'll run screaming away with your hair on fire?
Yeah. And if I may interject, what I like about this so much is I'm really big on nervous system stuff. So I've really been discovering in the last 2-3 years or so that the nervous system is basically the thing that runs your life. And so what I love about this exercise is that it is a gentle way of exposing the nervous system to change can be safe. It's okay. You can, and then you can build up towards the scarier big change. So I'm trying to basically see almost everything through the nervous system, process and see how that would help the nervous system basically adjust to it. And so I think it's a really, really great way of in small, microdosing, basically.
Microdosing change.
Microdosing change or for the nervous system so it can get used to, oh, this is okay. And then you so your neuroplasticity, you can slowly, your system starts to actually not have that fight or flight reaction to change. You have to gently, like it's a lion in the corner and go, hey, look, it's okay. You know, like when they save those cats that are like, or dogs that have been horribly treated, and then you gently give a
Yes.
little bit of exposure to the
Slowly.
hand. The hand is
Yeah.
okay. That kind of stuff. I think is a really cool
Yeah.
idea to do. And also, I was wanting to say that in my case, it's really, really applicable and appropriate because I'm going through, my children are now teenagers and they're sort of individuating away from me. And I am not liking this at all. I'm like, what's
Yep.
happening? My whole thing is like, I thought we had a clear unit, there's structure, and I feels like that's really much more shaky. And it's a
Yeah.
transformation, obviously, a very predictable, and it was going to happen. But I wasn't expecting to feel that sort of destabilized by it and the fear of this is change. So it's really timely for me, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's timely for me too because it's always timely for me. I'm as an autist, I'm autistic. Change is not comfortable for me ever. A change in my routine can really throw me off. And considering the consequences of a change will lead me into rumination about worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
So it's really important for me to have a ramp, like a lead up
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
making any kind of change where I'm just sort of, building the muscle that it takes to make a change, It can take me, 2, 3, 4 years to wrap my head around the fact that yes, I really do want to change this. And I need that lead time. But if I practice it in my in my journal, I really do think of it as like a spell that I'm casting, right? Like I'm getting in this mindset where I'm ready to start moving towards being willing to change this one aspect of my life. So I want to move, but I've been living in the same place since 2020. It's so tiny and it's become claustrophobic. Like I'm just surrounded by clutter. I don't have a bedroom. My living room is where I do everything. I eat, I sleep, my office in a bed with a table in front of me because the bedroom here is my studio. As you can see, this is where I work. No space for a bed. So I'd love to move. But the thought of moving is paralytic. Like it just, so doing a little practice around, okay, well, we usually do things this way. Don't change. Don't make, don't do the thing. What if we did things a little differently? So for me, I never use a reference photo.
Yes, you said
like
that.
ever. I never draw from a reference. So I thought it might be fun for me to throw myself gently off the deep end of comfort zones so that I can be a good role model. And then like I'd love it if you would send me one. And so the point here, if you're playing along at home, the point here is not to make a perfect rendering of the reference photo, by the way, if you're going to try this. The point is just to work with a reference photo. That's it. Just work with it and then see where it leads you. And you may not make a perfect rendering of it. You may not even get close. I am not great at drawing. It's not my favorite thing to do. I really prefer other ways of expressing myself. But I'm gonna try as a way to kind of immunize myself against the paralysis of change.
Well done. I'm very impressed. So you want me to find you a reference photo, yes?
I would love that. Yes, if you just send me one.
Do you want? Can you just give me do you want an animal, a person, an item, like an object? What do you want? Any?
So I always draw faces. So I have a particular like signature style of face. So I always draw faces. So that is not outside my comfort zone. I don't draw faces from a reference, but I do kind of want to draw something different from what I would normally draw.
So can I just ask you, because I don't want to give you something too hard. You know what I mean? Like
no, but it's okay if it's too hard. I'll look at it and I'll figure out like how to simplify it. I'm going to let it be a inspiration, not a task. Like it's not the tyranny of the reference photo here. It's the okay, what can I
inspirational thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So throw it in the chat and then I'll print it out so I can have it up on in my space.
I'm finding stuff here that I actually find hard to do, which are like a still life of some sort, with a teapot and all that kind of stuff. That'll be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't want to do something and you go, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do.
Look, I said I want to do this. I'm willing. It's also like it's going to have the added benefit of not only am I building resilience against change, I'm also building resilience against failure. Like, it's like, I will not be able to draw this well,
Yeah.
according to me.
Okay.
But if at the end of my drawing session, I have something that resembles whatever it is that you sent me in some way, shape, or form, identifiable by another human as this thing, I will have succeeded.
Okay, cool. See if did you get it yet in Zoom?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
It is terrifying. I'm so excited.
Okay, good.
I'm terrified. It's so exciting.
Same for me. I was going, I don't know what to do with it, but I feel attracted to it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like the leaves and the onions and the bell and the glass. I was kind of intrigued by the, oh, here, I've got my iPad now.
Yeah. And like, I won't be able to represent this as is presented to me. I won't.
So that's what we're saying. But
and that's okay.
basically, we're doing the scary thing of change, which is what this is all about, isn't it? So we're going to try that.
So what I'm telling myself is that I'm allowed to be inspired by something I see without feeling pressure to represent it perfectly.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I see.
Right? And that is a huge thing for me. That's huge for me.
Okay.
It's one of the reasons why I don't draw from reference, is because, well, I won't be able to make it look like that.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So this is going to be a great exercise for me, and I'm totally willing.
All right, everyone. So we're now on Effy's and my art desks. Welcome to our art desks. Whee! And what we decided, so Effy asked me to send her a reference photo that would scare her and terrify her. And so I looked around and I found this really interesting, what I think is an interesting sort of still life of a bunch of leaves, oak tree leaves, I think, in a vase with some onions and a bell by it. And I kind of suddenly went, you know what? Instead of choosing the color red, I might also like to challenge myself to do anything with this, because this is also an uncomfortable subject or something I haven't done before myself. So both of us are now going to take on the challenge of doing something with this. And we want to again say, we're not giving ourselves the task to make a highly realistic version of this photo at all. We're going to use it as an inspiration and work off of the reference photo.
So like I might just try to do a jar with some leaves in it, because I'm not accustomed to drawing jars with leaves in them. So simplify it as much as you want to. And just, and if for those of you who are playing along, like, do whatever is a little uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be this.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be
something else.
You could, if you want to work on basically exposing your nervous system to discomfort of change, you can choose other things. You can choose working with a color you never work with, or use a shape that you never use, or maybe a subject. So if you never draw faces, maybe you challenge yourself to draw a face. Now, I kind of thought when I was looking at this that what might be fun is to do that continuous drawing thing where you don't hold
contour.
Is that what it's called? Contour, or the way you don't
contour drawing,
where you don't take your pen off the paper tool. I think that's kind of fun. I don't know. Something I want to. I when I see this, I want to do it really wonkily. I don't really want to do, because of course all these little leaves are hard to kind of do. But also I was attracted to the glass. So I like the idea, or glass is really hard to draw, I think, like, or, it's because it's transparent and your brain kind of goes, there's nothing there. But obviously there must be a way to, excuse me, to draw or paint glass. I have seen many artists be able to do amazing versions of glass. So I was kind of partially thinking maybe I'll challenge myself to trying to glass here. Discomfort, hey? We're going for the discomfort. We're going for the discomfort.
We're going for just a mild discomfort. Nothing that'll kill you.
Nothing major. Yeah. And I like the atmosphere in this photo. It's quite moody and sort of, And I'm just reminded of some artists I love who do very impressionistic sort of versions of it's still lifes. If you also Denise DeFara, who was on Master Meets Meet, I think Tracy Verdugo does sort of some more impressionistic stuff, which I'm probably trying to channel a little bit.
Yeah,
because I have spoken I've told you before, sorry to interrupt you, Effy, and then I'll let you talk because I can talk overly. The thing about for me, I have this battle inside of me, which is I call it the painter versus the illustrator. So the painter in me wants to just be really expressive and loose, and then I have an illustrator in me that goes, "This is not quite precise enough. That needs to go a millimeter to the left." And that's obviously not necessarily the painter versus the illustrator, but that's what I call them because that's how they feel to me. There are illustrators that are very loose, and there's painters that are more precise. But to me, the painter is the expressive, loose one, and the illustrator is the precise one. And this always is at odds inside of me. Although I've become more easygoing over the years, letting both have a go, and playing together. But I'm noticing that being present here from me now as well. How's that for you? And what did you want to say? And then I'll stop talking.
Well, I completely forgot what I wanted to say, but that's totally fine. I don't know what did I want to say? I don't know what I wanted to say. Yeah, no, I feel you on the illustrator versus loose painterly. I always want to go loose painterly, and then because I'm not confident in my skills, I end up going black outline, white highlight, just yeah, I do a lot of outlining. As you will see, if you take my lesson in the year of magic and fairy tales, hours and hours and hours of outlining, and adding tiny marks. So it isn't comfortable for me to just leave a thing feeling impressionistic, but I would like to get to that point.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to just say, okay, that's
done.
That's enough. Yeah, that's enough.
I used to
do that. It doesn't need an outline.
My black lining also, I used to do that. I still do, or not as much. And also, I have a tip for that. Just use a very fine line, like fine liner. And then it doesn't feel as sort of, I used to find myself going, why does it look like a cartoon? I didn't mean for it to be cartoonish in my work. And I realized that the Posca pen, the thinnest one, is so thick still, 0.7. If you take, I like one pen specifically. Where is it? The pen. Is it Pentel or is it Pilot? Pilot. I never know it off the. Oh, here we go. Pilot G-Tech C4 has a very fine nib. It isn't waterproof though, so that is annoying. But it's 0.4, and the line work is there, but it isn't sort of so. I don't know, stark, and that was my sort of cheating way almost of still using lines, but it not feel.
Yeah, I have a dupe of that. It's a 0.35.
Oh, nice, even thinner.
Fine liner. Yeah, it's super thin line. I don't know. It doesn't feel done unless it's got a ton of line work in it.
But that's the other thing. I feel like also there is also our styles and preferences, right? So I find it interesting when you as an artist have maybe not a criticism of yourself, but you think I do this because I can't, but maybe actually you do it because you love it. Do you know what I mean?
Because I like it.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't really know what's the driving force, or it just works for you that way. That's another thing, right? We might be going, it's because there is no such thing as the right way to make art. I genuinely believe that. So there is only the right way for you to make art. And okay, if you find for yourself, I know I do that because, okay, cool. But that's the thing for myself. Sometimes I'm confused by my own criticism versus, am I criticizing just a preference? What am I doing? You know what I mean? Like it can get a bit messy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just something you like.
It's a very good point, actually, because I think a part of that too is comparison, right? Like we compare our work to everybody on the internet. And
then go,
I wish I could do that, and then we're unaware that they're sitting there going, I wish I could do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true. But we're also, because that's true, we're also inspired by what other people do. Because it could be comparison, but sometimes you're also inspired and go, oh, that'd be so cool if I could manage that. So yeah, it's quite a tricky thing, I feel, to be an artist and to find your way and figure out what you're really about, why you do what you do, all that sort of stuff. That's why what I love about art as well so much is that it really is a journey into yourself. Also because you can look at why am I making the choices that I'm making, and then suddenly you find yourself deeply digging into your own wounding perhaps, or your own motivational stuff that is all about wanting to belong, or I don't know, not wanting to abandon certain things. You know, like it becomes it's rarely not deep if you want to look. If you want to look, you don't have to look. But if you look, mm, there's usually something deep going on in most things, not just art, actually.
Almost, like, almost everything, almost every
Yeah,
choice we make is like
exactly.
arises out of this, like the bottom of the cauldron of our subconscious, you know?
Exactly. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's like, why did I do that? I have no idea, but there's
Yeah,
some part of you that does, you know, there's some part of you that made that choice.
exactly. Yeah. I
So
am
I'm just like,
very much
tr
enjoying the
tr
scribbling at the moment.
me too. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna just making a mess here. And I don't even need to do oak leaves. I can just make whatever leaf I want.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring them right up off the page, which is also something I find really hard to do.
Oh yeah, 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 exactly.
Right?
I decided to go double spread, so it's like I have a bit more space, but it can go off as well. I like that. And I just like that the whole making leaves really amorphous and blobby. I'm enjoying that part of it, or in my case. So that's the other thing. What I find interesting about the resistance you have in life, right? It's often in your head. What I mean by that is that once you do then do it, you go, fuck, all that thinking that it was, sorry, excuse me, swearing. uh,
I mean, I'll leave that in.
I know that's
I'd leave that in, but I know you prefer
no,
no
no, no,
swearing.
no. I will leave it. It's more that I thought, is the YouTube going to not like that? I find that the thing you think is scary, so your brain like has all these catastrophic scenarios of what was going to happen, and then when you actually do it in practice, it's rarely as awful as your brain thinks it's going to be. And I find that always
Yeah.
really remarkable. And I try a lot in my life to go, no, I know you think that, Tam, but when you actually do the thing, it's rarely what you think it's going to be. And I don't know why, but I never really listen. You know, I believe the thought
Yeah.
process more than the others, the sensible side. I don't believe that person so much. Obviously, there's some kind of heavy protective system in my system going on. But that's always a really good learning that you then do it, and you if you find the courage to do whatever you're so scared of, and then you notice, oh shit, it wasn't scary at all. Now try to
Yeah.
update your system, you know. And the more you do that, which is what we're trying to do now, which is the practice of the scary thing, the more you do the scary thing and your brain goes, oh, it wasn't scary, it updates its information, the nervous system updates the information. So the other thing that we have, all our avoidance methods, you know, whatever you have as a numbing out system or whatever, all these things help you to stop you from actually trying out the thing and growing away from it. And that, but it's so heartbreaking to me because I understand fully why my protective system is this strong. So if you've had a lot of trauma
Yeah.
as a child, it makes so much sense that your body and your nervous system be like, yeah, we're not going to experience that again.
Yep. We're not doing that. Yep.
But sadly, then you don't learn the other things. Your body won't have the experiences, literally won't be able to have the experiences to tell the nervous system otherwise. You can't learn them. So therefore, you have to be the brave one. You know, you have to go, oh, I'm going to have to go against all of my resistance. And that's really hard.
Yep.
It's so hard
Yep. Really hard.
and unfair. It's
Very unfair because I didn't make my nervous system this way. Excuse
right.
me. Why do I have to do all the work to
Exactly.
fix it? What is happening?
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And then like corrective experiences, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I do so much of that in my art journal. So much of my art journal is about that. It's about, you know, meeting myself on the page, really giving myself a space to have a voice,
Yeah.
experimenting with failure, letting myself suck at things.
Yeah.
Because for some of us, it really was not safe
Yeah.
to not be good at something right out of the gate. You know, you've
Yeah.
got tiger parents and all of that.
Yeah. That is something that
Yeah.
I always
So
think is just the most unfairest thing for people with trauma, that you have been given trauma, right? And then
yeah,
you're meant to fix it with a brain that was developed under the trauma circumstances, which I
yeah,
think is so unfair because then it makes it harder. Someone who wasn't traumatized can more easily, right, resolve a brain that wasn't traumatized, that was traumatized, if you see what I'm saying. And so it's like triple, quadruple whammy against you. I think that's why I have so much respect also for people who um, do this hard work of healing. Really, it's really hard work and extra just rigged against you. Just think it's so
Yeah.
unfair, so unfair. Because it's
But
one,
I also,
yeah.
sorry, I also feel like it's such a gift, Tim. I know I'm going to sound like such a mamby-pamby Pollyanna, but I mean, I would not know myself the way I know myself if I didn't have to do this excavation. And I'm not
Oh,
saying that excuses anyone that harmed me. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not here to spiritual bypass anything.
mm,
Um, it sucks that it happened. And, I may forgive in time, I may not. And forgiveness isn't necessary for healing.
mm.
Um, but I get to spend this time with myself, really getting to know
Oh, sure, yeah.
myself in a way that I wouldn't have otherwise,
I know, I agree that there's so much that, and even the same with chronic illness, like having rheumatism, you learn a lot. Let's just say you learn a lot, and it can be very deep self-connection through that, for sure. I feel possibly all experiences have some kind of, not quote unquote benefit, but it changes you in a way that maybe, provides something else that wouldn't have been provided had that not happened. But sometimes, for some people, trauma just creates you becoming a homeless person on the street addicted to drugs, and you haven't a way out. And those people are not sitting there being able to really deeply know themselves, so I feel that I've been very lucky as well, that in my trauma, I've been on the way, I've met people, and I've managed to somehow, with really the help of people that I've been lucky to meet, been able to come to a point where the trauma has been both awful and enlightening. But for some people,
Yeah.
like some people, as you know,
Yeah.
even I'm not saying living on the streets homeless is not valuable. There's value, quote unquote, in you can learn from it. But I feel like some trauma is so unovercomable almost, and then you're still the one that has to overcome it, and that just seems extremely unfair.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extremely unfair. Yeah. And having, healing modalities that are accessible is so hard if you are homeless or if you have never been given even the opportunity, or if your creativity was not respected. Like, this part of my story, that my creativity was not respected in my childhood. I wasn't allowed to be anything except what was expected of me. Creativity did not play a role, and I was a very late bloomer, so I didn't start painting or doing anything creative aside from writing. I was a writer, but I discovered art. I started arting when I got writer's block. So writer's block is actually what led me here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to remove these ones because I don't really want those in the middle there. So I'm just maybe being judicious about what is actually living in this jar. So shoot, I lost my train of thought.
You were saying that you had later
Yeah, so I didn't
practice.
have it in childhood. I had to wait. And not only wait, but wait until I had the financial wherewithal to even think about it, because as you are all aware, I'm sure, mixed media art is not cheap.
No, to get all the supplies for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so many hurdles. All I'm saying is trauma really provides a lot of hurdles. And yes, also, even I always used to say, I have a chronic illness. For those who don't know, I have rheumatoid arthritis from the age of 19. And that has been awful, and it has grown me so much, because I started learning, you start to appreciate life in so many different ways, because you really, it's a bit cliched, but you do really start to appreciate, for instance, I remember, I'll give you an example. So my friend, I used to work in a market research company. That it wasn't my passion at all, but it taught me a lot. But I had a friend there who I worked with, and when I had basically one year I had a really bad rheumatism flare up, and I had to go back home to my parents, and I could hardly walk. It's that bad. So I had to stop working. And I kind of lived outside of the world, if you will. I was on the sideline. It felt like I was sitting on the bench. If you're in a football team, I was sitting on the bench, right? I wasn't taking part. I couldn't take part. And my friend called me up, and he said, it was after 9 months of me being at home at my parents' house. And he was complaining to me about how awful his boss was, and how the train had been late and the bus had been late. And I remember not saying it in, but thinking to myself, I wish I had a job with an awful boss and a train and a bus that were late, because then I was
Right?
participating in life. And it really wasn't like oh, you should be lucky with
It
what you
wasn't,
have. It wasn't at him. It
yeah.
was, I wish that I had your life so I could complain about my job and I could complain about the bus being late, because right now I'm just sitting here absolutely not taking part in life. And at least if I was taking part in life, of course, look, the moment I did have a horrible boss and I did have a bus that was late, I would be complaining maybe again. But I had a real moment of realizing, like, oh, I wish I was part of that.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah.
I wish I was part.
Yeah.
I could complain about my job, my job and my boss, and it was a real moment of wow, perspective change, perspective switch, and a kind of yeah, a very. And this happened maybe what 30. How old am I? I'm very old now. Not what was it? That would have been me 24 maybe. So that's 25 years ago ish, 26 years ago. I want a spray bottle. Where's my spray bottle? And it still lives in me, that memory of wow. And it can help me sometimes switch perspective when I complain about things. I go, remember how you wanted a job that you could complain about.
Yep.
You feel that in your system, and your perspective changes there. Those sorts of things absolutely are valuable. And having rheumatism pain is awful. Do you know what I mean? It's both. It's kind of and both, isn't it? But yeah,
Yeah.
and all the great spiritual teachers will tell you that suffering is where growth. The no mud, no lotus, right? That's the
Yeah. No mud, no lotus. Yeah. You don't get sharpened if there's no friction.
yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is a horrible
Still
fact.
sucks though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is sort of a horrible fact.
Sucks. Yeah. Ugh.
And it'd be different.
Why? Got to be that way. But then, you won't appreciate sunshine without rain, etc., etc. All of those pithy Hallmark sentiments, right?
It's that, and it's also sort of true. It's just so annoying. I just always go, why can't I just grow from extreme joy?
Right?
Well, can't that be the universal law here? Why does it have to be, why do I have to grow from fucking suffering? Excuse me. Again, here I go. But okay.
I love it when you swear. It makes me happy.
Okay.
it makes me feel right at home. It's a thing. I'm Canadian. We are not known for our we apologize a lot, and we also swear.
Oh, really? That's funny. You say you're known
Yeah.
for, Canadians are known for sort of being polite, overly polite, as a generalization. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Does this work? Okay.
But we also swear a lot.
Okay.
So I changed the height of my jar because the jar was just way too tall for this. So I just went ahead and I was like, I need that to be just a little bit shorter, and I'm happy with it now.
That's one.
You've gone a lot further than me in your drawing, and that's
scribbling. That's because I'm scribbling. You're doing more precise.
Well, and also you draw. You draw. I don't really draw. As a general rule, right?
What do you mean? You draw faces, you draw flowers, you draw all sorts.
So face for me is like a template. Like I learned how to do it basically from you.
Yeah.
And so I just do the same sort of shape every time.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's like a recipe.
My flipping water bottles don't work. I want to spray. I'm trying to spray. Is this like a water soluble? This is probably stinking old water. Oh, it's not bad. I get stressed about. Sorry, I'm trying to spray because I use the Stabilo All thing, and I'm trying. Oh yeah, this one.
I love Stabilo All.
Yes, I'm just trying to spray on it so it gets that messy activation situation. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, go on. I interrupted you. You don't draw. So you're saying you use it? You mean when you don't draw? You mean you use the same template?
Yeah. Like I can do a face because I've taught myself how to do a face, but I've never practiced like other shapes, and so I don't do this where I sit down and look at something and use it as a reference. That's just not a thing that I generally do.
Okay.
But I have to say I'm enjoying myself. Like I'm having fun here. I don't feel like I'm not stressing myself out. I'm having a good time.
You're doing, for someone who doesn't draw, you're drawing pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's like that's another thing, maybe a story we sometimes tell ourselves. There's a guy that I follow on Instagram now. I love him so much. He is very, very much like you just do this, and he just sits there and he just draws lines. He doesn't do anything of supposed, skill. He just
Value. Yeah, 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 yeah.
he literally just does 3 lines, and he gets loads of people going, "This is shit art," and blah blah blah. And he's just all about expression and expressing himself, and it's all about the philosophy of creativity and expression. But I enjoy him so much because he does help me go, yeah, not don't be too precious. Don't, just try some stuff out, and also again, nervous system related. It just gets you going. Like it's the whole thing of uh, breaking through that armor that you have, that worry, these anxieties we all have about what something should look like, and then it stops you from doing anything in the first place. So people like him are very much sort of enablers. They help enable you to just start and do some stuff and see how you feel. And I also do this thing where I like what I do for my own process as well is I often start with layers that because I know that some of my paintings will look very precise, but if you painting, that face I did for Master Mixed Media, you'll see that originally underneath it's quite loose and kind of crazy, and then I become tighter and tighter on top of it later. So what I mean by that is that
Yeah,
the looseness that I try to access initially is me trying to get out of my logical, analytical, guarded brain that goes, it must look this way, it must look that way. Why I was
yeah,
and if I apply loose brush strokes initially, very like freely, it might not look like anything. But what happens for me is that it shifts me into the right brain, which is too simplistic, by the way. Apparently, left and right. It's not that simplistic, but just for sake of
yeah,
it, where everything is freer and more expressive and intuitive. And then afterwards, I allow my logic to come in and go, let's just tighten this a little bit. Let's just tighten that a little bit. And then I basically, you know what I mean? Like it feels more, I have access that playful, more expressive side. So I like trying to start that way rather than starting the other way. For me, that is very precise, because if I start precise, it will only get preciser and more rigid. Well,
right.
if I start loose and then become precise, for me, it works, and it's sort of a nice combination of the two. I mean, it's back to that whole how each of our own processes are different, and
Yeah,
yeah, how everyone has different approaches to stuff, and what works for your nervous system or your own, wherever you hesitate. And do you know what I mean? I think you find
yeah,
your own ways of figuring out what works for you. Ooh, maybe purple. Yeah, I'm enjoying this very expressive way of doing things, though.
yeah. Me too. I'm really having a good time here. And I do intend to finish this painting. So one of the things that we agreed to do was, we'll spend some time together
Yeah,
on Zoom talking, and then Tam and I will go off and finish our
separate.
paintings on our own.
Yeah,
And then you can find our, it's like there'll be the Tam version on Tam's channel
yeah,
and the Effie version on Effie's channel.
yeah.
And so you can go and see Tam finish her painting, and you can come and see me finish my painting. Look what I did. Look, I made the leaf
Nice.
look like it had a little curl at the end.
See, you can draw.
I did that.
And you
I
put
did that.
Oh, hold on. I'm excited about the acorn. Is there an acorn in there? I love the acorn.
Yes, look,
And
look,
the
look.
crow.
There's a little, look at the little acorn.
Love it.
The little acorn. I'm going to put some stones in the bottom here
Right.
because I feel like this would have stones and stuff in it.
Yeah.
So I've used the reference.
Yay! You did it.
And I've drawn according to the reference, and now I'm just doing my own thing.
Exactly. And how
right now I'm just like,
let's just check in around your discomfort. So how was your comfort levels and stuff? How have you done something that's different? Do you feel like you've done something that is a bit different and was uncomfortable, but your nervous system feels like, oh, it was all right? Does that happen?
Well, first I have to say something about sitting with a friend and doing this with a friend in the room.
Yeah.
Very sweet for the nervous system, right? Like I'm almost distracted by our conversation to think overly much about what my nervous system is doing.
Sure.
So I'm just kind of relaxed and I'm having fun. I've already set the intention of not taking it seriously and like willing to fail, right? I'm willing to suck at this.
Yeah.
Totally fine. And so I'm just having the best time.
Nice.
I started out a little nervous about, am I going to be able to draw?
Yeah.
That whole story that I have. And here I am drawing, and yeah, it's great. I'm very happy.
Very cool.
How about you?
Yeah, I also was like, "Ooh, this is not something I normally draw or paint. I don't do still life, so that's uncomfortable. I do like ending with a painting I like, and so that's also my not challenge, but because over the years, people often tell me, my students will say, "Oh, I end up with a painting I hate and then we throw it away." And I always try to teach people that that's really valuable anyway, because you've learned what you don't like perhaps, but you've also practiced your skills. Your brain is, learned. And so but I teach that, but I don't always apply it to myself. So I have a thing here.
Right.
If I feel like, oh, this was not something that I in the end like, that I do still go, it's amazing my time, or something. And I try very hard to teach myself, no, this is actually helpful, and you need to, stick with that sort of stuff. So and there's an element for me about, oh, now that I'm going to after we hang up, I want to make it into a pretty painting. That thing
Yeah.
there for me. And so maybe it's still,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not pretty now, but it's not finished nowhere near. And then I'm thinking, but my intention is very much like, oh, how can I make it so that I really like it at least? Because pretty is subjective. And that's
Yeah.
there for me. And that's not uncomfortable, but that is a thing where I have entered into a space with you where the risk is that I won't make a pretty painting that I then want to share with people. I'm very harsh on
Right.
my own paintings, which shouldn't be. I teach people don't be, but I don't apply to myself. So for me,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
you know what they say. We
yeah,
teach what we need, right?
yeah, exactly. And also, and we always are harsher on ourselves than we are on other people. So my inner critic is always very louder than. I mean, I've found it weirdly. I find that over the years it's become not louder but more discerning. Like
Yeah.
a painting that I would have thought was spectacular 10 years ago, my inner critic goes, that's a 2 out of 10. And while inner critic 10 years ago would have gone, that is perfect. You are allowed to show the internet that, right? And now I'm like,
Yep.
so it's sort of somehow become more discerning, which is stupid. So that's what's there. But I'm noticing, oh, that's interesting about you. That's what you're doing here. I like the whole
Yep.
there's gray in there. So yeah, but I'm feeling not massively uncomfortable, or I'm feeling like, oh, it's not as scary as it was. Like definitely I feel this is an effective way of trying something out that you might have not done on your own. For sure, I like that you and I are doing it together as well. I have a similar experience that doing it together feels less challenging or confrontational.
Yes.
That
It's
makes
like your our conversation is acting as a buffer,
Yeah, and you're sort of half distracted.
right? My inner critic can't get in here.
Right.
Yeah, because we're too busy yapping. So when is she gonna yap at me? We're too busy yapping,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're sort of half distracted. So you're doing the art and not a very, I don't, at least I'm not super concentrating on the art. I'm talking to you and I'm doing the art at the same time, which probably also will show in the style, that it will show up in the quality of, oh, that's looser and less, as I do find myself somewhat controlling. So less controlled, like much
Yeah.
less controlled. Although I can see myself now, I'm bringing in the highlights, like doing all my anyway. So yeah, so definitely a positive experience, I feel, and a
For
good
me too.
way of playing with doing something that is somewhat scary and exposing your nervous system to it doesn't have to be scary and even if it's uncomfortable, you can live it, you survive it, that whole idea.
Yeah, I think it's more important that you do it scared that
Yeah.
than you convince yourself that it's not scary.
Yes, that's right.
It was scary. I was scared. I went in scared.
Yeah.
Um, and but I had a good experience with it, and now next time I won't be as scared
Yeah.
to change it up, to try something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've pulled out the Stabilo as well because you've inspired me.
I love Spino so hard.
Me too.
They're so like fun. They're so good at like I don't know. They give you that. I love the inky reaction. I mean, it can be a nightmare if you oh shit. Sorry, I'm trying to look for pain. I got them. It can be nightmare.
Yeah, we can barely hear you, just so you know. You've moved so far away that we can't hear you now.
I apologize. I'm back. They can be a nightmare, the Sibilos, because they are so inky and so happy to react to water. And then if you don't know that, it can be a problem. But when you want it to do that, when you know that, it can be really nice as a. So I like the messiness of it in a way.
So I've decided to make my little balls down here pomegranates.
I feel this needs blue. I'm going to put blue in here as a background, as a complement. Bluey grey eventually. And then I'm going to black. Black. Oh, this is a purple. Oh, purple would be nice in this. Purple and brown. Oh, I can open it. Yeah, so still lifes has never been really a thing for me. I've never really been that interested in still lifes, but I like them when they are, very, expressive and impressionistic sort of thing, and just playful. Don't do much of this kind. So that's interesting. It's just interesting to challenge yourself and change it up.
Yep. I did do a vase, and for a vase of pomegranates for.
Yes, you did. That was beautiful.
Which course was that? I loved that. That was such a fun experience.
That may have been.
I think I printed out a reference for that. So I'm kind of exaggerating that I never do it, but I never do it if I'm just arting on my own, like for my own joy.
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
I just don't. It's only if I have a lesson to teach and there's a specific composition that I want to work with.
I will I don't work off reference photos exactly. I only ever use it for, let's say, posing. So if there's a face that I need from a particular angle or something, or a wolf, that is that I need to try and paint from an angle, a particular angle. So and then I don't try and do it super like a likeness. It's more than I just need to be able to see how is the head tilted, where's the jaw, that sort of stuff. So it's more it's a reference photo, but I'm not a realism person anyway. So I don't create the painting to be an exact like. It's more of literally a reference to see where's the jaw, where's the eye, and then it may or may not look like the person in the photo or the wolf that is in the photo. So in that sense, I'll use reference photos.
Well, I want to do more of it because I would never have drawn this just out of my own imagination.
Yeah.
And I really like it. Like
it's helpful to just have it like it becomes a jumping off board rather than a literal representation of what you're seeing. Yeah, like a jumping starting point even.
Yeah.
Like I have done a tiny bit of what's it called, urban sketching. I like it when you see people do the urban sketching stuff where they go out and they draw cities and stuff. I don't, if I've tried a bit of that and I don't make it exact. Again, it's more like, oh, that's roughly where that window is, and then
the idea of the thing, the essence of it.
Yeah. Not a literal one. It's quite cool to try and do.
All right. Well, I feel like we're there for now. So I've got stuff I've got to do. I know you do too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up now here, guys. You can find me at effywild.com, EFFYWILD, and Tamara you can find at willowing.org, WILLOWING.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
I was going, willowing.org, yes.
Willowing.org.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for spelling
and everything is linked below, so you can find Tam if you're watching Tam's. You can find me if you're watching me. I've also linked Tam below. I'm sure Tam will link me.
Yeah, we'll link.
We're going to be super easy to find. You can also just search our names and find hundreds of links from both of us because we have been chronically online for our entire lives. And each of us will finish our paintings on our own. But first, we want to give you our faces so that we can blow you kisses.
Yeah.
Yay! So, I drew a thing,
You did it,
and
Effy.
it and it looks nothing like this, but
Nice.
it has like elements of it that please me.
It's so funny as well. You see two different things.
Love it.
That is,
Love
yeah.
it.
So I'm gonna
That
make
was so much fun.
I'm gonna put like blue background or bluey gray background because that will make it like really the contrast and stuff. I'm gonna do more detail on it. I'm actually invested now. I'm invested now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to use watercolors, so I'll probably activate my Stabilo first and then like pick up a bunch of it
Very cool.
with a Kleenex and then go in with watercolors and see what happens. That was really fun.
That was fun, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
Art Fairy and the Witch. I love it. The Art
The
and
Art Fairy and the Witch. So we'll see you guys next time and in all of our places.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, the links will be below in our descriptions. You can find Effy and me and the links below. And thank you for being here. And we will be back probably in about a month or so.
In about a month. Thanks for hanging out with me, Tam.
Yeah, and you too. Thank you for hanging out with me. Okay, bye everyone.